All right, welcome in everybody. Today is Wednesday. This is the Wednesday episode of the BGSM show. Joining me, obviously, is going to be my dude Joe. Knock, please revive. Again, if you're looking on the Twitch screen right up here above you, you'll see the link to go to his Twitch as well. Make sure you're giving him a like and a follow as we're getting going here. Um, Today is kind of the Wild Wednesday, What If Wednesday. We're going to touch on a couple of things. The big thing for us, obviously, is we're continuing our Mount Rushmore series that we had started before Joe had to take a couple of days out. We would have continued it on Monday, but I wasn't feeling well on Monday, so we didn't get to stream on Monday. But we're back now, so we're going to go in the AL Central with that. We got a couple other things that we want to go over today as well. I got some little tidbits of news that I want to touch base on. But before we get into that, Joe, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? And before you say anything, if anybody's watching at home, I do want to apologize. You're going to hear some screaming and crying. I have a handful of dogs here at the house. My youngest dog is on its way to the vet right now. She has an ear infection from all the pollen that's here in southeast Texas. And you can hear the whining from the big dog who thinks he's a lap dog, my black lab, who is over here and mad at the world that he is stuck here at the house and not going to the vet. So apologize for that. But Joe, what's going on, man? How you been? What's new in your world? All the good introduction type things.
Let's get it done today. AL Central, they say that it's the worst division in baseball. Anybody can win it, blah, blah, blah. But there's some great players in this division. We're going to recognize them, besides the Tigers, who got destroyed by a lot of guys on this list. But that's okay. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to play the third day of playing this season. I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to finally dive bomb on somebody. And if I get knocked, please revive.
There you go. Miss McLovin, welcome back in. Good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Popping through on the Twitch chat. Appreciate that. Joe, before we flip over, though, I got to get some information. We didn't get a touch on this yesterday. Everybody knows, we talked about it. You were going to Tennessee from North Carolina. I know you made a pit stop at a place that's near and dear to the heart of every person who born, raised, or lived in the state of Texas. Tell me about your trip and visit to Buc-ee's.
For this message, my fellow BGSM members, I stand up and address you because this deserves a stand-up message. Buc-ee's, the greatest thing since sliced pie, slices of bread, the game of baseball and Fortnite, grills, jerky. Hey, a jerky toy for your dog. Whatever you need, Buc-ee's is there for you. Buc-ee's in Tennessee. I spent $225, but I'm a richer man because of that store. The gas station, that's not a gas station. It's a grill station. It's whatever you need. You want that
Fresh brisket on the board.
You want a Texas burrito? Get you a Texas burrito. I feel 335 pounds heavier today. And that's okay because Buc-ee's is America. Buc-ee's for President 2024.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, we got a Buc-ee's here in the Houston area. There's a couple of them, I should say, here in the Houston area. Hey, Freddie, welcome in. I see you there on Twitch. We're talking about Buc-ee's real quick. But I can tell you right now, Buc-ee's is the only place I know of that you can go in, and it is an actual gas station that is a destination on road trips through the state of Texas. So, like people from Houston, if you're going to San Antonio or you're going to Dallas and you're taking 45 north, there's a Buc-ee's that's approximately halfway between Houston and San Antonio, and a Buc-ee's that's halfway between Houston and Dallas. And literally any time of day you go in there, they are jam-packed. There's 125 gas pumps. They're completely full, and everyone loves it. Jake, that's enough. See, I told you the dog would be crying. Dude, like the wall of brisket, the wall of fudge, the food, fresh food, beaver nuggets, which are some of the best snacks ever made and known to man. They're great. The cleanest
14 miles of candy.
Right? the cleanest bathrooms on the freeway. Like, you can't beat a trip to a Buc-ee's at all.
So I'm a northern guy originally, but I live in the southeast now. I'm in North Carolina. So we're going through Tennessee. We're heading back from Tennessee back to North Carolina, and we're in Tennessee and we make this stop. And there's two more things I need to mention about this trip. One, as a northern guy, I love Squirt, the soda.
Yep.
And you can't find it hardly anywhere. And I was able to grab a 90,000 ounce squirt for the whole trip all the way back to North Carolina. I didn't need another drink on any stop or anything.
And they're like 99 cents for the large fountain
right.
soda or something, 89 cents or something, yeah.
Also, as a rook walking in there, never banging into a Buc-ee's. So you're automatically, you're hit.
Yes,
hit when
Renegade, the drink. He means squirt the drink.
Squirt the drink, yes, squirt the drink, squirt the drink. Wife, if you're listening, squirt the drink. So you walk in and you get that automatic culture shock, like when you're a rookie in the NFL, and it hits you in the face and in the nose, especially. And then you walk through, you find the lava brisket sitting there, and it starts to come to you. You grab a pulled pork sandwich for the kid. You grab a brisket sandwich for yourself. You grab the chips. You grab everything. They're in your hands. You're flowing through the store with four people trying to carry stuff. And then a lady says, would you like a cart? And I go,
kiss of death.
I'm like, oh, okay. This isn't a gas station. You actually have carts here? I never knew, because this is a gas station.
Yep.
Now I understand. It's a destination. I dumped everything out. It took only the top of the cart and went back shopping for some more.
It is definitely a trip, and you can get in there. I mean, you know, I was telling a story. We were talking about this off the air. I used to work at a facility that was like right around the corner from one of the Buc-ee's here in Houston. And I left for work because we'd go in at like 6 a.m, right? So I was always in there early. And I got all the way to Buc-ee's, and I realized I always wore just like a pair of Adidas slides to work, and then I'd put my shoes on and stuff at work, my work boots. I got all the way out there and realized I'd forgotten socks to wear that day. Walk into Buc-ee's, literally bought a pair of socks. Another day I was going to work and got all the way out there, realized I'd forgotten my belt. Walk into Buc-ee's, I still wear that belt to this day. Right? And we're talking, this is like 2018 or so when I had to do all these. I wear those socks all the time around the house. So yeah, like it's literally anything and everything you could want. I mean, if you need swim trunks, a cowboy hat, 30-pack of beer, some ice, and food to go float the river, you can get it all in one stop at a Buc-ee's. So
you sure can.
It's amazing, absolutely. So
my fellow Americans, whether you think that Trump's the answer or Biden's the answer, if you forgot who Biden was, like he forgot what he ate for breakfast this morning.
Joe, we're not doing politics on the show.
They don't matter. The only solution in America is Buc-ee's. Vote Buc-ee's 2024.
All right. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and flip this over. Let's get ready to play some Battle Royale, some Zero Build, because I can't do the political talk now. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and ready up. Now, a couple things. No buckying politics. That's pretty good, Renegade. So a couple things just to touch base on, right? And the first one, I don't know if you saw this, but it was announced today that the Chargers are actually releasing Mike Williams, just as an FYI, because they have a bunch of cap space they have to clear. So any thoughts on that move or any other moves that we haven't touched on that you want to bring up real quick on the NFL?
See, this right here, people forget about this period of quote-unquote free agency. This is where the teams like the Chiefs thrive, and they get those guys that are really good but fall in the second tier because they're released late to try and remove that salary cap. I don't think his salary's all that much, like $10 million or something like that. He's going to end up on a good team. He's a good receiver, and wherever he is, he'll probably end up on my fantasy team because I've had him for 4 straight years.
I feel like they had like 24 mil to clear for the Chargers. And don't quote me on that number.
That's not terrible.
But yeah, that was definitely a change. By the way, Renegade says we only do political talk in the group chat before 8 a.m. Just so you know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
that wasn't political. It's just the solutions. We're looking for solutions, not politics.
Where you want to go, man? I'll let you
matter.
pick the first one here.
What's all Harbro gonna? He'll bring in a receiver from Michigan to replace Mike Williams.
Yeah, I don't know what the Chargers are going to do there, but they've got so much rebuilding to do. It's why when we talked about it before, I was surprised that Harbro went out there. Harbaugh did because Braylon Edwards. Yeah, that's it. Just because of how much he was going to have to completely flip that roster over, and it's not like they have 30 draft picks in the next 2 years, so they're going to have to get creative. But we'll see what happens with them, I'm sure.
Could you imagine that conversation with Herbert? Hey, we're not going to re-sign Eckler. Mike Williams is gone. We're going to continue disheveling this offense, but we're rebuilding. We'll be there.
Right? We're going to get rid of every weapon you have. So, one other little tidbit. I saw this today, and I don't know if you have, and if you haven't, I recommend finding it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But there was somebody that made a video that I thought was hilarious. It started with the video that Russell Wilson posted, where like he's opening the box and it's all the number 3 Steelers jerseys with his name on the back.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
And then they cut to the video from the year before where Mitch Trubisky was making fun of his Broncos country Let's Ride. It's like, imagine making a video where you roasted the guy that stole your job.
I did see that.
I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
I do think he's going to work in Pittsburgh. I know it might be crazy, but I just got a feeling.
He gets lucky because, they don't have to pay him. And so it works out to their advantage. So if he can make it work this year, and look, I don't think Russ is the best quarterback option, but he's not a bad quarterback by any means. I got a Flowberry. Where you at?
Probably 1,500 meters away from me.
You're not far from me. You're good.
It all depends on if, like, George Pickens goes crazy or something. If they can contain composure.
So, yeah, no, it'll be as a Browns fan, I hate it. Let's get that out of the way. But for Steelers fans, I think it'll be good for sure. And then, and then don't worry, Renegade, we're going to bring that up here too, because we talked about that a little bit yesterday, but we'll continue the discussion because it's now officially that it sounds like Cole's out for 1 to 2 months for the Yankees.
Yeah, is that preliminary guess or is that actual?
That's what I saw just reported was he was going to be out at least a month. They think up to 2 months. So, yeah, and Renegade made a comment that the AFC North is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good teams in there. Obviously, Joey Burrow comes back. The Browns are somehow building with 0 salary cap, but, they're doing it. If we can get any kind of quarterback play as a Browns fan, we're going to be set.
The salary cap is a figment of your imagination.
Yep, just like we talked about yesterday. So then I got another one for you. I got a name that's a blast from the past that I want to bring up because report came out today that Texas A&M is looking to replace their AD, right? Because obviously
Gene Smith?
Huh?
Gene Smith is being considered?
No,
Okay.
Where did you get Dean Smith from? Oh,
Gene Smith.
Oh, Dean Smith. Okay. It's like, what? No, not Gene either. Trev Alberts from Nebraska is
Oh, yeah.
supposedly in the running for that, to the point where
Oh, okay.
they said that he's accepted the job, but he hasn't told the what do you call it? He hasn't told the administration at Nebraska yet, but that's what the rumor is that it's going to be him. And I thought it was pretty funny because the person he has to report to in Nebraska is an interim president, because their president they did have, whether you know this or not, was a guy who just left to go to Ohio State as well. The president of Ohio State, Ted Carter, came from Nebraska. So I just thought that was kind of humorous.
That is kind of interesting. Also,
Hey,
I wonder if these AEDs, if the AEDs do the same thing as coaches. Like, a lot of people are believing Chip Kelly at Ohio State that he missed coaching players, and that's what he said at his press conference. But a good majority of people are saying, no, dude, you saw your job was about to expire, and you jumped off that boat. I wonder if that's the same for ADs. Like, this dude realized, I screwed up with the Frost hire. If this hire with Matt Rule doesn't work out, I'm pretty much
Jump on the train. Jump on the train. Did he actually hire Frost? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Did he?
Pretty sure he did. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure he did.
And then, that's actually something else I was going to mention here. Renegade said this. It came out that it's been officially confirmed that Tony Alfred is out at Ohio State as the running backs coach. He's officially moving on to take the Michigan job.
Welcome, Tony Alford, to that team up north. You're on the list with Ed Warner as one of the worst coaches to ever exist. Congratulations.
Well, I don't understand it. I think there's a lot more going on, that like him and Day were having problems or something, and Day wasn't happy with him. But there's no reason for him to leave otherwise except for chasing the money bag.
I'm not trying to dramatize it more and turn it into a soap opera, but I'm going to. If you watch games this year, Alford was never around anybody else but the players. You never saw cutscenes of him with other coaches, which I know he wasn't around a ton of coaches all the time.
I'm jumping off.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
Know.
You're right. And that's what I think is just, there's a medallion not far from here.
He probably got butthurt about a couple of the hiring decisions they made,
and that's why I said, like,
Ryan Day could be very upset with the running game from last year because it didn't pan out the way it was supposed to, whether that's his fault or Alfred's fault. He's not going to blame himself.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's such a lateral move to me that it doesn't make sense.
Well, the other thing, too, is this is a new day and age where we saw Aaron Jones do it the other day, going to the Vikings for just $7 million just to get back at the Packers.
Savo, I'm not even going to say this right. Savo Belmo, thanks for the follow on Twitch, by the way. Sorry, Joe, didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no problem at all. But to your point, it feels to me like a revenge thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because on its nose, it's a lateral move at best, right? Like, it's not like
you got the two best running backs in the country at one university, and you're the head coach, and you leave.
And the other side of it, somebody did say, well, what if he's taken like like co-offensive coordinator role?
Still, it's vertical.
Yeah.
To me.
I've also heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly there's like a 1 in 100 chance that if you shoot down all these drones here, you can still get a gold star, the striker from last season.
Somebody just shot at you. I think they're standing right in the road.
Oh, well, shoot them for me.
I'm trying. Oh, now he's got his double jump going. He's got that double jump.
Oh, shit. There's another one over there across the bridge. I didn't see that guy.
And I'm dead.
I couldn't get the stop. That's all right. Let's see here. So we talked about Tony Alfred. Oh, that was the other question I have for you. So with that being said, who is the new running back coach at Ohio State? Do they go like an interim route and try to just make it through? Because I mean, they're only 2 games or 2 practices in for for spring practice, but it's a weird time to be switching, obviously. But
has Zeke signed his minimum deal yet?
I don't think it's going to be Zeke.
I know. I'm just kidding. I don't. At this late in the game, the only name that comes to mind was brought up in our chat, and Eddie George. But I don't see him leaving his coaching job this late either.
Yeah, I would love Eddie to come back, but I don't. It's not going to be Eddie.
It's so hard to predict those types of things as an Ohio State fan now, because Ryan Day doesn't have a real big tree.
Yeah.
And anybody that we know that he knows, it's not very public.
Apparently, Eddie has already said no, according to Renegade in the chat. So.
Oh, why Eddie?
Oh, that's not a bad one. I actually like that. So he says DeMarco Murray and Robert Gillespie are supposedly top list. DeMarco Murray obviously is a big name. I mean, isn't he? He was at I think Oklahoma. He was their running back coach for a while.
Yep.
Let's go to Grant. Try something different here.
Do you worry at all about? And I don't want to go on too much of a rant about this because we got to talk about the baseball.
You already talked about politics, so you do what you want to do.
Yeah. How Chip Kelly's used running backs in the.
What's that now? Sorry, go ahead.
How Chip Kelly uses running backs, does that make you nervous at all?
No.
Okay.
Because Ohio State's always going to have the talent pool to dig from at running back where they'll be able to get guys. And if anything, having Chip Kelly there, I think is an added bonus for those guys, because look at what he did with guys like LaMichael James and LeGarrette Blount and whoever he had in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's going to look at those guys and say LaMichael James was better on paper starting out than somebody like a Trev Henderson when he comes into he comes out of high school. So
man, not enough gold.
For what?
For sniper. It's all good.
Oh, is there a sniper machine up there?
No, just Valeria.
Oh.
She has a purple. I think it's a sniper. It might be yeah, it's a purple sniper, but you might get that non-scope one.
Yeah. Where's she at? I'll take a look at it. I've got some gold. I can do it if we need it.
She's right here.
All right. Hold on. I'll get you one here in a second, too.
$20 says this one is not got a
Nope,
scope.
they both got scopes.
Oh, woohoo!
Now I need to find, I still have basically no guns right now.
Yeah, all I have is a shotty. Alright, so this DMR is basically an improved enforcer, I've come to realize.
Yep.
And what I wasn't loving wasn't the DMR, it was the scope with a thermal on it is what I like.
At least then I have an
So
AR.
I don't mind the DMR, it's not my favorite.
I will carry them because I actually think that the DMRs this season they're nice. But
Yeah.
if I have a choice, I'm going to grab a sniper because I can potentially
Right.
completely knock you. Hello, butt
Yeah.
chest. But
If
because
I have, yeah,
you
if
could
I don't have a
potentially,
sniper, I'll pick it up.
There's a big pot there too if you need one.
But I'll carry it. Is this dude still pooping out stuff?
That was what I was talking about with the butt chest.
Oh, yep. The butt cheese.
All right. So any other thoughts on the Ohio State coaching situation right now?
Oh,
Because I'm anxious to get into the Mount Rushmore thing here.
I was just trying to think of any internal guys or near the program guys, and I can't think of it.
I just don't know that there are any. The more I think about it, the more I like DeMarco Murray.
I like that decision.
Murray's claret. Yeah, Renegade. I don't think that's going to work.
Is Keith Byers around?
Oh, there you
That's
go.
a joke. I'm not serious.
Why do I feel like Keith Byers is actually like a
Is
high
he a
school
coach?
or college coach somewhere? Yeah.
Because I was joking. That's hilarious.
And I sorry about that. I could be just completely have someone else mixed up in my head, but I feel like I've heard that before.
Bring in Carlos Hyde. There you go.
Carlos Hyde wouldn't be a bad one either, potentially.
As
far as the
an
names go,
intern.
yeah. I don't know anything about how he would do as a coach, but you figure with these guys that understand Ohio State, understand the culture at Ohio State, like.
But also, we're two old dudes talking about Ohio State, and these young kids that are recruited need I think all those guys would connect. We talk about, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a name that we weren't thinking that's way up there. Like, I'm trying to think. Haha Clinton Dix was the player, director of personnel for Nick Saban. So, I always think of that stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea. Especially if they're not connected.
So Byers is a TV analyst for the Yes Network and a radio guy in Dayton.
Oh.
The Yes Network, that's who does the Yankees games, or did the Yankees games, wasn't it?
Yeah, they do the Yankees and I think the Giants.
Okay. Huh. Yeah.
Because he played for the Giants, I think.
Oh, we know he played for the Eagles. I didn't know about the Giants. I can't.
Or maybe he's bouncing between networks.
All right, let's see here. Poseidon. So apparently he hosts something called New York Football Weekly.
Oh. So he's not going to games every week.
No idea there.
I'm guessing not.
So, somebody just came up the zip line right over here. Oh, you got him. Good job.
That's when 3 shots are nice, because you got the first shot.
All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about Mount Rushmore.
Alrighty.
All right, we're going to start in the AL Central with this because, as I had mentioned before, I grew up as an Indians fan. That was the first baseball team I really followed. So I have a lot of young fandom as an Indians fan from when I was younger, I should say, right? So the AL Central, I've watched a lot of AL Central baseball. But for the sake of having fun, and because it's the team that I didn't even have to do research on because I already knew these, but somebody just got this tower right here, and they're over there still.
They're up on the top, yep.
Yep. So we're not going to go with, how far is that? 204? Okay.
204, yeah. That's the bottom of the mountain, though.
Yeah, and they moved over here now, so we'll wait a second because they got medallions. Looks like another medallion pushing them. Either that or our bounties over there with them.
Now they're glitching hardcore.
Well, one of them's a bot.
Oh, that's the glitcher.
Damn, I can't hit a damn shot apparently. They know we're here now.
Did you get him?
No, they shot at us.
Dang it.
Hey, Buckeye BVO's in the chat. What's up, Ben?
Come for the sports talk, stay for the terrible Not Please Revive play.
Oh my God. Don't worry, I apparently cannot hit a shot all of a sudden.
Oh, they backed up on this side, Mike. Hope you saw.
Yeah. All right,
I'm
so
gonna try and go this way.
So we're not going to start with the Indians or the Guardians or whatever. So do you want to start with Minnesota, Kansas City, or Chicago?
You name the one you want to start with. I don't care.
So Ben, just so you're aware, the you can't subscribe to my channel yet because I've got to get to 50 followers, and I'm at 40 right now. So that's why I'm trying to push to get to affiliate. But oh, there's Joe. So I think the one that's going to be probably not as much fun, just because I don't feel like they have a lot of names, is the Kansas City Royals. So let's start with the Royals.
Yeah. How about that? Like, they don't have any. I mean, they've got one of the best players to ever play, but their list is just.
We got to push down this hill, Joe.
Players.
Get in the zone.
It's not a lot of there to choose from.
So I think we should start with the 1990 to present, and then we can go with all time, because I can tell you 2 of my 4 names are the same on both lists.
Okay, well, I always take a different approach. I always, if there's a 90s guy that thinks all time, I try and open up a spot for another guy in the 90s.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have to do that, but
but give me your list for the 90s on.
Okay, so I've got Carlos Beltran.
Okay.
Johnny Damon. I think number 1 on the list in the 90s that's not on all time and can probably be on all time too is Mike Sweetie.
Okay.
And then number 3 on my list, that 2014 team, there's a couple guys that I think are all time just because of their impact on the franchise. So I put from that World Series champion team the back end of Kelvin Herrera, Wade Davis, and Greg Holland, who were the best in baseball for probably 4 or 5 years.
Gotcha. Well, so it's actually funny because in our chat right now, Ben is throwing out George Brett Saberhagen, and Salvador Perez. Renegade dropped Kevin Apier, David Cohn, George Brett, and Alex Gordon. And it's really funny because there's a lot of names that I'm going to drop on my list that were just named off, because
that's a lot of those guys are on my all-time team.
Yeah. So my 90s list on actually is Kevin Apier, who is legitimately one of the best pitchers that they have had. And then Salvi Perez, Zach Greinke, and Carlos Beltran.
Okay. That's your 90s list.
That's the 90s list on. And, you know, as we said before, I still think Greinke is a Hall of Famer eventually. I don't think he's a first ballot. I like Greinke. I really do. So, like, it's kind of a toss-up there. Kevin Apier had and I don't remember the exact set, but Kevin Apier had something like a 46 WAR while he was with the Royals.
Which is amazing because those teams stunk.
Yep. So
and never gave him offense.
And no, Renegade Perez in the 90s. Perez is it's for the 90s team to present, not just in the 1990s. Because he was questioning why Perez is there. So
it feels like Salvi Perez has been there since the 90s, though.
Yeah, hell. Other than like a 2-year stretch where he wasn't in Kansas City, period, he's been there for like 20 years or something. And legitimately has been one of the better hitting catchers, consistent better hitting catchers.
Yeah.
He plays good defense. Yeah. So I have no problem with him being there. And then Beltran, like, ooh, there's the guy right here jumping. And his teammates dragging behind him.
Kind of like your teammates dragging behind you.
They got in that car. And I was just fooling a Joe just standing out in the wide open here.
As much as I was picking on their 14 team, that's why you love baseball, when those types of teams win, because it reminds you of those teams you played on that won that nobody was super good, but everybody was better than average.
Well, by 2014, I had become an Astros fan. So 2015, I hated the Royals because that's who eliminated the Astros when they finally made it back to the playoffs for the first time in however long it was. There's a lot of loot here, bro.
There's a lot of people up here. Oh, you're all the way in fencing fields.
Yep.
And I'm getting sniped upon.
Wait, where the hell are you? Oh, you're back
I was still
there.
standing there because I was talking while I was.
Oh. Well, we kind of got to go that way anyways because we got to get in storm and zone.
All right, I'll go back. Heading back that way.
Where were you getting sniped from?
I was sniping at people.
Oh.
I didn't get sniped. They're in the building up here.
Okay.
Or at least they were. I think they just ripped it up to the island.
Gotcha. Let's go down the valley. So, my next question for you then is, if that's our 90s to present team, who are your all-time Kansas City Royals?
All-time list number one, without question, is George Brett.
George Brett. Easily the best player in team history. Yep.
No, number two is Salvi Perez.
Salvi I have on my list for sure as well.
Number three is Alex Gordon. His numbers might not be the super impressive numbers that you want for an all-time franchise leader, but he defines Kansas City the way he played and what he meant to that organization.
The team on the island has all 4 medallions, just FYI.
Okay, so don't go up there is what you're saying, huh?
I mean, you do what you want to do, but I'm not.
Zach Greinke, number 4. And I put special mention, as weird as this is going to sound, Ned Yost and Whitey Herzog, because those are the only guys that got this team ever close to a World Series championship or World Series championship without a superstar player.
So I didn't list any managers. I know the when we did the first breakdown, we were talking about managers, but
I would never again, probably, but
I went.
And that's
with,
just special mention.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. I went with a couple of those names you had as well. Obviously, George Brett's going to be there, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer in my mind. I went with Salvador Perez too. Ooh, there's 2 people right here.
Got him.
Nice. Get over here and revive me, dude. Pick up your crown,
Oh, I
Joe.
didn't realize you were...
No, I was talking to my bot that's just sitting in the fucking water there.
I'm basically a bot, so I'll do his job for him.
After Salvi, my second name off the list that was also on the 90s list was Greinke. And
you can
then
take the sniper.
Oh no, I've got a purple one already.
Okay.
But then I also went with Brett Saberhagen. And again,
it doesn't have a scope.
it's not a matter of
Those are good
Oh,
choices.
you're good. It's not a matter of like one is particularly the greatest of all time or anything, but it's like I had said before. It's who I think of when I think of the Kansas City Royals. Who are their best players? The guy with all the medallions is coming in over our head right now.
Gotcha.
He's up this way somewhere. Oh, he's
Oh,
here.
he's coming. Knock. Dang it, I almost got him.
Where is he?
He's right below the rock. Woo! I don't know how that just happened, but there's more people coming, Mike.
That's all right.
At least I felt like I got shot at.
You did.
Thank you, bot. Holy bejeebus. I need some heals, though.
It's one guy left, Joe. So
Okay.
the guy shooting is the last guy. I just don't know where he went. Oh, there he is.
I hear this.
There it is.
Oh! Lightning bolt!
Way to go, Joe. How about that? Can we get GG's in the chat for that? That was nicely done, buddy.
One of just 3 eliminations, but we celebrate like we just got 20.
It doesn't matter. I had 3 eliminations too. We still got the win. But yeah, like I said, with Brett Saberhagen, again, he's the guy that ranks on that list. Just as when I think Kansas City Royals and they're great players, that's who I think of. And I'm sure they had guys in the 70s or whatever that played with like George Brett when he came up that were probably statistically better, but these aren't teams that I know.
But
yeah,
exactly.
Right. So, hey, we got crown wins that time too.
They reinvented baseball in the 80s though, and made it so like you didn't have to have that superstar dude to be competitive. Not reinvented, but reinvigorated baseball.
Gotcha.
I should say.
I mean, and let's be honest, you know, one of the most iconic moments in baseball history, obviously, is George Brett flipping his shit when he got called for the pine tar incident, right? Like, I mean, you don't even have to be a big baseball fan to remember, you know, seeing that clip and stuff. So,
some dudes from my childhood or teenhood that really drove me nuts as a Tigers fan. Raul Ibanez as a Royal, always for some reason found a way. David DeJesus always got on base. Those are 2 guys that Jermaine Dye always destroyed it, and he was young too at that point.
And when you go even older than that, right? Like Lorenzo Cain.
Oh yeah, Cain.
Like great ball player. God, I hated him.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, no. I was just getting ready to say Moose. Actually, that's funny.
And Billy Butler. I mean, he wasn't the greatest hitter of all time, but he somehow found a way against my team to just have the timely hits sometimes.
See, I always had a soft spot in my heart for Billy Butler, for the same reason I always liked John Kruk. Because he looked like the kind of guy that you'd run into in a beer league softball game, not a major leaguer. So it's like, hey, maybe regular people have a chance to play baseball for a living.
Who's the other guy I'm trying to think of? They had like that. Kendrys Morales for a period of time.
Uh-huh.
Same thing.
Now, was it with the Royals or the Angels when he broke his leg celebrating a home run? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure that was with the Angels.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure on that.
So, Renegade's in the chat, and he says, really, I walk away for a couple minutes, you guys get a crown win?
That's right. That's what we do here on
I got
the
knocked
BGSM show.
because I was shooting a damn DMR.
Oh, this is over. Now I'm about to go Rambo in this
He's
suit,
in my house.
in this
He's coming.
tracksuit.
He's coming. He's coming. He's trying to get up
Coming
here
from
to
behind.
me.
They're coming from the front. They're
He's
coming
in on
from
me.
all over.
He's in on me. Oh, he just finished me.
That could be an ASMR video right there.
Wait, where the hell are you? Oh. Dude,
I'm hiding
I
behind
hit
this
him.
rock.
I've hit him. Go get him.
Oh, you hit him? Oh, I didn't know that.
I've hit him, yeah. But I was shooting
all
with a
I've
damn
got is the-
DMR. Oh,
I
yeah,
don't want to
so
get
do
too
you.
close because all I've got is the DMR. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought he was
Let's
going to
see
miss
here.
me, too. I was trying to tuck away in that corner so Joe could get in. Renegade says, I thought he was going to miss you for a second.
All right, bro.
So,
I got
Why-
my thermals up.
yeah, no. While you're doing that, we have obviously. Oh, there he just took off up towards the house. You're good. We've got Minnesota and the White Sox left. Yeah, in that back room right there. So, do you want to go with the White Sox or do you want to go with the Twinkies as our next one?
Don't matter. Let me see if I can find a car here. Get in the car and then we can. Let's go White Sox.
White Sox? See, and this is funny too for me because like I struggled with putting together my White Sox list because they are a historical franchise, but
No.
realistically, they are historically not good.
Yes.
You know,
I mean,
so like they've
had their peaks.
yeah, so I was gonna say they've had stretches, but they also have so much time where they were just not good.
And then when they were good, they were the Black Sox.
Right. So Renegade listed Ventura, Fisk, Thomas, and McDowell.
That was a good one.
McDowell is one of those guys that I really liked when he was pitching for the Indians. I hated him in Chicago. But
Let's get this.
he just missed out on my list.
Let's get this straight. I have a 2 list for the White Sox. How about my Adam Dunn White Sox list where he had -4 for 86 million? Yeah, he's on my list on my Mount Rushmore because I hate the freaking White Sox.
Or
Adam LaRoche is on there.
when Ken Griffey Jr. was there.
Yeah,
So
all the guys that suck.
you
for them.
just
Oh,
completely
man.
ran that thing out of gas in like 2 seconds. Nice job.
That's what I do.
And I can't mark and tell you where to go, so you're just gonna have to find a reboot van.
So I got to do that myself. Okay.
Get in the
Just
car.
came
Get in the car. Get in the car. Switch seats. Switch seats.
I'm
And
gone.
okay, now you're getting shot at. So yeah, drive.
I'm gone.
That's not a reboot van. So for the 1990 to 2024 team, for me, I'll go first since you're playing. First and foremost, I think any list of that time frame for the White Sox begins and ends with Frank Thomas, right? Like one of the, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He was a great ball player. You have to have Frank Thomas on that list. And then I actually had another first baseman on that list, and it was one of those guys that, even though I was not a White Sox fan, I really enjoyed watching him play. I was a fan of his. It's Paul Konerko. I have been a Paul Konerko fan since he was with the Reds. He came up with the Reds or something, right? Like, I've always liked him.
Another Reds front office screw up? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I'm not going to touch on that one. But then my other 2 guys that I have off of their list for this time frame are one of the best pitchers of that era in Mark Burley, and then Chris Sale. Just in that time frame, again, is one of those guys I hated seeing him on the. Thank you, Joe. I hated seeing him on. There's somebody out front.
I got destroyed. I can't do that lightning thing twice in a row.
I
that was
had
fun.
No gun. I picked
Get
up a
the
gray.
reboot and die. Pick up the reboot and die. That's what we do at the BGSM show for you.
So great.
Oh my, good lord.
So
You didn't even get to finish your top four,
no,
did you?
that was it. It was Chris Dale, Mark
Okay.
Burley, Paul Konerko, and Frank Thomas. It didn't help that you
So-
had 0 shield that whole time either. So
Right.
So with that being
So-
said, who are your top 4 for 90 to present?
So I had a lot of first basemen. Jose Abreu, Paul Konerko. Konerko, man, just timely hits, man, and always with power. Jose Abreu destroyed pitching when he was with the White Sox.
Yep.
I minus his moment when he was in a headlock against Nolan Ryan. Robin Ventura was really good. And then I had Mark Burley at number 4. Just a left-handed southpaw that's just one of the top 3 southpaws in the game when he played. And pitch drunk, so.
Yep. So Renegade chimed in and said Konerko wasn't too big of a screw-up. He wasn't a super big prospect, and they traded him for Mike Cameron, who was pretty good, who ironically
yeah,
was traded for Griffey, who ended up in Chicago eventually anyways. And
Dude,
plus, they had Sean Casey at that time, so they had no room for him.
I forgot that Mike Cameron went from Cincinnati to Seattle.
Yeah, that was the center point, or the centerpiece for what the Mariners got back, like the big league name. So who you said? Konerko, Thomas, who? What was your list again?
No Thomas.
Okay.
No Thomas on my 90s because
he's on your all-time
team.
Okay.
Yeah. But Abreu, Konerko, Ventura, and Burley.
Oh yeah. So Jose Abreu, that was the one I was thinking of that I wanted to comment on. I wanted to put him on the list so bad, but he's obviously an Astro now, and we way overpaid for him. And I just don't know that I could do that. I struggled with it hard. But like I said, I also was a big Konerko fan. For me, it came down to like Abreu, Ventura, and Chris Sale. And part of that's probably because, Chris Sale's still such a dominant pitcher. So I 100% give that to the recency bias, but yeah.
Well, and when Chris Sale was with the White Sox, it was like you were watching Randy Johnson all over again or something like that. Like,
he was dominant in Chicago
it was
on the South Side.
Thick. So I get that. I'd probably put a bias on mine because he's literally hit 435 against Detroit in his career. So every time I've watched him, he's destroyed my team.
Let's see what else we got in here. There we go. I'm going to have a mini for you. All right, then. Anything else on the White Sox recent teams?
Well, I think other guys you could consider: Carlos Quinton, Maglio Ordonez, Chris Singleton.
Mags was a tough one to leave off too, because you and I have talked about him. I liked him as a ball player.
I have as much as I hate them, where I lived in Michigan as a kid. I was right across the lake from Milwaukee, and also could catch AM radio in Chicago. So I listened to a lot of AM radio of the White Sox.
Okay.
And those teams were just built, and we're missing some of the 2005 guys too that won that World Series. But I just think that overall they're a better organization than the Royals. But as you can see, there's not like major names outside of the Big Hurt that you go, wow, that was a superstar player.
So in the chat, Renegade said in a few more years, Luis Robert will probably be in line to make this list.
Yes.
And then I'm not sure who he's thinking of here, but he says I'm picturing a big power-hitting outfielder for the Sox from the '90s, but I'm drawing a blank on the name.
Albert Bell, maybe.
Well, we're going to talk about Bell in a little bit because we got the Indians coming up. So.
But he played for the White Sox too.
Oh, I'm well aware. Here's a fizz juice for you, bud. Trying to think yeah, because he was there in the Bell was there in the 90s, but I don't feel like that's going to be the name he had in mind.
No, they had. I feel the same way now that he said that.
Yeah, there's somebody. I can't tell you who it is.
Jermaine Dye played there and did well in the 90s.
Was he in the 90s though? I feel like he was later there.
Oh, it would have been later. Yeah, it would have been 2000s. Maybe 98, 99. He might have played there.
Well, and Renegade just said, not the guy I'm thinking of, but Rock Reigns, which was he 90s though? I feel like he was like, to me, I think of him more in the 80s.
With the White Sox, he was probably 90s.
That might have been, yeah. And that's what made this list so hard, because there are some of these guys that, like, I wanted to include them on the list, but their time from 90 on makes it really hard to include them. You know what I mean?
And also, the White Sox and Royals are organizations that pick up on guys like that later in their career. And so
Come here, chicken. There we go.
Joe Creedy could have been on that list, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of who he's referring to, but all right. So who do you have on your all-time list for the White Sox then?
The Big Hurt.
Okay.
I mean, that's obvious. We all saw what he did as kids. Luke Appling, which, if you remember, which you don't.
The pitcher? Wasn't he a pitcher?
No, Luke Appling was a shortstop way in the day for the White Sox.
Who am I thinking of?
Hitters.
Isn't there an Appling that was a pitcher?
Yes, but I don't think he was for the White Sox. High Point, North Carolina native. He's up in the top of their statistics, and I have his autograph. So.
Oh.
Also, there's a great clip of him hitting in the They used to do an all-timers game where like Al Kaline and Luke Appling and Cy Young and all these guys with. I can't remember who the pitcher was, but he smoked one deep on the first pitch of the game. So the dude was hitting a home run at like 78.
That's awesome.
But he was a great all-around player. Played all the infield. And then I have Minnie Minoso.
Minnie Minoso played for the White Sox for like 75 years.
Yes. And then managed them too. I think, if I remember right. But just what he's meant to the game, and when you think of him, you think White Sox. And then Shoeless Joe. I know we can debate this, but I still, based off of the research that is known, it still has not been proven that he was part of the scandal in the World Series, even though he told his teammates he did. But it's also clear that he was illiterate and often just said yes because he didn't know what to answer.
Yeah.
But his 1919 World Series and what he did with the White Sox, and I think it was 7 or 8 seasons, is unbelievable to me.
There's spots in here somewhere. We gotta go clean them up. There they are.
And then also I mentioned my favorites: Adam LaRoche, Nick Swisher, all had negative WAR with big $1 million contracts for them, so they'll always be my favorites. And on my Mount version.
So, gee, a name like Wiggle Shark, do you think he was real? I think the guy I was thinking of was Ivan Cauldron, is what Renegade said.
I don't remember him.
You taking that?
Yeah.
Good.
Ivan Cauldron.
Yeah, I don't remember that name.
They had obviously Al Garcia there for a while too.
So, I'll tell you now, Shoeless Joe. I want to touch back on that. Oh, don't forget Sammy Sosa. We don't talk about Sammy Sosa on this for obvious reasons. So thank you, Renegade, for trying to start another fight. Shoeless Joe was one of those guys, like, I could have legitimately put him on this list and on the list for the Indians, right? Because, he did great shit for the Indians as well before all that stuff. But Shoeless Joe, because, again, of how we were doing this, it's, who you think of with those teams, Shoeless Joe is absolutely on my list. I have Frank Thomas, obviously, on the list. I have Mark Burley on the list, just because, again, I hated him when he played against us, but I loved him as a pitcher. But my last name that I had for the White Sox is a guy who potentially had just as much success with the other team that you always associate him with, the original Pudge, Carlton Fisk.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, it when I think White Sox, I think of, everybody knows about Shoeless, Joe Jackson, which we talked about, because of the thing. But then, for me, I start thinking about it with that time
Somebody's
frame.
flying in with wings behind us.
They're flying. Oh, yeah.
I can't find them.
He just landed right over there on you. God damn, I'm getting smoked today. This isn't very good.
It's hard to.
It's hard to do
it's
the
hard for me to
discussions
exist in
and
this
do
game.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like I was saying, like I think about those teams where Carlton Fisk was there. I think of those teams, in the, what was it, the mid 2000s or whatever it was when Mark Burley was there. And of course, I'm going to think of Frank Thomas, who I've said is legitimately one of the best in his time.
He's Mr. White Sox. He's Mr.
Oh, yeah,
White Sox.
100%. So.
Yeah, they do a lot of they've in their history they've done a lot of bringing guys at different times and part of the career. Like, people probably don't realize Tom Seaver played for the White Sox.
Yeah, when they
like that.
Didn't they wear? They were wearing red uniforms then,
yep,
right?
Red back then. Yep.
Yeah, and it's actually funny. Renegade just said something. He goes, "You could do a prime not in their prime White Sox Mount Rushmore of Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson, and Alomar."
And Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right.
Michael Jordan never had a prime though on the diamond.
Yeah.
Though I do want one of his rookie cards.
Got to serve that basketball suspension somewhere. All right, so as we load into this game here, we'll move on to Minnesota. That Mount Rushmore, those Mount Rushmore heads sit on the laid out body of Tim Anderson. Well done, Renegade. I love it. So go ahead and give me your list for the Minnesota Twins. Present day list.
90s, right?
Yep.
90s to present. If you don't have Johan Santana on your all-time or 90s list, you're an idiot. Sorry, hate to say that, but he's one of the best pitchers I've ever watched in person. I've gotten to see him pitch in person before, and just going to a game. But I watched him in his prime, and with the Twins, he turned a mediocre team, just being a true ace, with some help from his friends like Joe Mauer, who's also on my 90s list. And you watch what he did on the mound, it was unbelievable. Even if it was the Mets, but specifically the Twins. I have him, Joe Mauer, one of the most exciting guys to watch in the 90s through the present, Corey Hunter, and then number 4 on my 90s list is Brad Ratton.
So, Renegade said Kirby, 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 and Kirby. Oh,
Oh,
and
that's my
Johan,
all-time.
so KPR doesn't call me names. So what I was going to tell you, it's actually it's funny. This is the topic I was just mentioning though. For Kirby, he's the perfect example of why it's hard because he only played through like 94 or something, right?
Oh, it's not hard for me.
So it was hard to put
We
him.
got people right on us.
We got multiple people here. It was hard because he wasn't with the team long enough in this era to qualify.
Shoot, I dropped my gun. Where is it? There it is. I'm just trying to get up high because I got a DMR. We'll see if that happens. I'm probably gonna get on. Yeah, I didn't put. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I didn't put him on my 90s list.
No, Kirby's not on my 90s list. I'll tell you that right now.
But he might be on the other list of mine.
He is very much so on the other list of mine.
Let's go wreck some bitches.
There you go.
Why do
yes,
I always stand when I revive?
I have no
like
idea.
an idiot?
That's fine. Get yourself a purple drum shotgun over there, Joe. So, my 90s list, because...
There's another one over here, Mike.
Yeah, perfect. My 90s list, I think, as much as this is going to sound a little crazy to some people, especially guys that they don't know certain things about baseball, but it begins and ends with Chuck Knobloch.
Okay.
So again, we're talking just the 90s there, right?
And just the Twins.
And just the Twins. Not his time in New York, not his time anywhere else. DMR's there. So Chuck Knobloch is my first pick. Johan is my second pick. I got footsteps here, Joe. I almost ran into him as I was looking at my list. That guy was just trying to bring me some bandages. I appreciated that. Johan is on the list. Joe Mauer is on the list. And my last name, I believe you said this, was Torrey Hunter.
Yep.
So
There's several other guys you could add on the 90s list. Jock Jones, Justin Morneau, Eddie Guardado,
Joe Nathan.
Joe Nathan. They had all those dudes that pitched that were always average or a little bit above average.
You just got
behind
hit, didn't you?
Santana. Yep. I'm not sure where they were, though. They might have been up on the mountain. Oh, they're sniping from back there. I have no super long-range weapons. And I don't see where he is anymore. Oh, there he is.
I'm reload, Joe. Stay alive.
Not only did I stay alive, I knocked please stop 75. How on brand is that for you to say? I'm reloading. Don't die.
Don't die, Joe. I'm reloading. Yeah, so I got through my 4. Okay. I actually had to double check. Did I get all these names included? But, you know, like I was saying, though, earlier, some of these names, they're just...
Names.
It's... You have to include them, and rightfully so, but, again... Come here, Joe.
Rick Aguilera, you could add on there. Kevin Tapani. Some good guys, but nothing. Jack Morris might have made it. No, Yeah, Morris in the early 90s.
And see, and that was another one. If I remember right, I don't think the majority of his time was. When I think of him, I think of his
No.
time in the '80s.
Yep.
You know, and I could be wrong on that, but it's just what I think of when I put those guys together.
Oh, he's gonna die. He gonna die. Did you get him?
Damn, I don't know what this Warforged has, but this thing is jumping way more than it usually does.
Same here. I'm shooting at legs to hit mid-torsos.
Like, look at that movement. I mean, this looks like I'm shooting in Warzone.
There's another one down here, Mike.
I don't like this gun setup. That's for damn sure.
Thank you.
Eric
Halo
Milton.
City. Oh, Eric Milton's a good one. Nick
There was
Puto,
a
those
big
guys,
pot up here too, Joe, where this
They
one
always
guy
had those
died.
guys.
Right here.
Sweet.
So
They always had complete teams. That's
They-
what they have, is complete teams.
it's amazing though, because when you're putting together a list like this, and I could be wrong, but I don't feel like the Twins have had way more like World Series appearances or wins than some of these other teams in the division. But
No.
it feels like it's a much better ran franchise historically
Absolutely.
than
They
someone
win
like the White
consistently.
Sox. Yeah, like,
They win consistently.
and they've always got decent guys put together.
They might lose in the first round of the playoffs. No, they will lose in the first round, but I'm just
Hey.
because they beat us in
Renegade,
game 163.
you recognize where we are here?
Oh, do I get my turn? That's hilarious.
Don't worry, that video's coming soon to TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So, with the Twins going all-time list, they obviously have some potential other names that we haven't touched on. Who do you have on your all-time Twins list?
Now, their all-time list is even, I mean, their all-time list, when I was reading an article on this a couple days ago, or it might have been a couple weeks ago, but you look at their numbers in war-wise, that they match up with, like, the Yankees going from the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
I just got shot at. So, like, they've had some really big stars in the 70s and 80s, but we don't think of them like that.
Where's that shooting coming
In
from,
the-
Joe? Oh, they're over here.
From behind us.
Yep. I just don't have anything long range to fight them. But they
All
gotta
I've got
come
is
this
this.
way. Oh, they're moving over on the other side of the hand. He's in the water. He's right here. Knock.
I hate this gun right now.
Yeah, this is a much better setup.
61. Spaghetti code. I feel like there's somebody else coming, looming. So I had Harmon Killebrew, which is like, I'll bring it up later. 'cause I
Mr.
don't wanna
Twin.
Mr. Twin, and also he very comparable to somebody else we'll talk about later. Rod Carew, which, I mean, Rod Carew had 2,088 hits with just the Twins alone, and he played several years with, oh God, I didn't realize you're in a fight. There's another crown over there. Oh, you already got it. I think I'm gonna carry this instead of that. Swap this out for this.
It's a nice way to get cleaned up, huh?
Yeah. Jeez. Harmon Killebrew, getting back to him. From 67 to 78 at 2,085 hits and only 700 strikeouts in like six. I mean, his
Joe,
strikeout
don't
rate
just
was only
stand there.
11%.
Get in zone.
Oh, yeah. We're playing the game. I forgot.
So there is a medallion in fencing there somewhere. Somebody's on a car.
Coming right to me.
They're both gone.
Is there any way to cancel a thunderbolt in the middle of it?
I don't think so.
Oh, we got people over in fencing shooting at us soon. I'm already at 100. I need this med kit though. They're gonna be. They gotta be coming soon.
Where are they in fencing? We gotta move. So you had Carew, Killebrew. Did you have anyone else?
Yeah, Puckett, who
Okay.
Kirby Puckett, who started working in the Ford Motor Company before being recognized in Duluth, Minnesota, and he's one of my favorite players of all time, especially as a kid to watch him. He's the guy you wanted to be when you're in the backyard taking practice swings. And then I also had Burt Blyleven.
Okay. Renegade says that Kirby was Zimmer's 51's favorite.
Oh, really?
Which
Nice.
I believe that. I had a lot of respect for Kirby Puckett. Definitely one of those guys that his injury and stuff was a sad day because
Very sad.
yeah, I wish he could have played a lot longer and played out. See, my all-time list, I got footsteps, Joe. I got footsteps.
Okay.
On the building right outside here where I
see
am.
it. Yep.
I just don't see the person.
They're in the building across from us.
They're in the building or they're down below?
Oh, they might be down below. I hear their footsteps, so they're probably down below. Yep. Yeah, they got to be down below. How the heck did you get down there? Oh, that's how.
They're coming. Come on down, bot. And you said Burt Blyleven was your last one? Is that right? Okay.
Yep.
So there was a couple of guys there that Burt was one that it was tough for me to not pick.
Yeah.
But it was easier because I don't subscribe to the same. They can't be on both lists like you do. So that eased it for me a little bit because my list for their all-time team was Carew and Killebrew, who I mean just they're literally all-time greats, right?
Yeah, no brainers.
So you had those two, and then
Oh shit!
I obviously went with Kirby Puckett. Zip line.
They're coming across.
Knocked him.
There's one right down here.
Damn, Joe, you've got 7 kills this game, bro.
What? Is this a bot, Bobby?
It might be. It's gotta be. Oh, somebody's rebooting.
I might have 7 kills, but oh shit, they're coming up the zip line, and I don't have any mobility. I'm going for it. This gun's all messed up, bro. I don't know what they did to it. Make that 8 kills. Footsteps in the...
I need help. Thank you.
There's some shield too.
Yep. All right. Hey, I'm gonna mispronounce this. Justin. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. We actually we're working in the process right now of getting to opening up follower games, which they'll be on the weekend. So just FYI, when we're not doing the talk show. But yeah, we'll definitely get them and
right
let
up
you
here,
know
Mike.
and get you in.
Oh, they're across here now.
There's people over here. 116.
I need to get to triple digits. Where are they?
How was that for snipering?
Woo! No! About to get it. Where's the other guy, though? Did you get both of them?
Yeah, there was 2 guys. They were both just hiding right
Okay.
here.
Cool. Oh, shit. Just got snapped. Really bad.
Right up here. They're in the car.
Yeah.
Renegade says those 2 guys that I just killed, they just sat there like you in front of the brisket.
I just ran away because I thought that was you. I thought you were one of those people.
No, we got to get in zone though.
Okay, I'm good now.
Where is this car? I didn't see him.
I've got Zeus's gun now. These suckers are.
Ooh,
Ooh.
they just shot at you.
They're up at the pink car.
They're over here.
Yep.
They're over that damn rock from me right here.
Yep. Should we had better cover?
No, we can't push that way. Make
Should we
sure
go up to the
everything's
top of the
reloaded.
mountain?
You got everything reloaded?
Yep.
All right.
They've got to be in that building. We might as well just push back the zone.
Well, because zone just closed here, yeah. It's an 8-tick. We definitely don't want to be caught out here.
No.
Yeah, they are, because that's their car.
Yep.
They're shooting, or they're shooting at you.
Yep. 67. They're coming.
One's knocked.
Oh, they're low. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
Ah! My shotgun was out.
I hate when that happens.
Damn it. Sam, I had 16 eliminations that game. You had 8. Yeah, hit your shots, kids. Exactly. You're exactly right, Renegade. Hit your damn shots. Now the worst part is I don't even remember if I'd given all of my all-time teams. So it's Carew, Killebrew, Kirby Puckett, and Johan Santana. That's who I went with in Minnesota.
Okay. See, if I was doing if I followed what you did, I would have the same exact list.
Yeah.
Because I think Johan Santana is better than Bert Blyleven, even though I didn't put him on the all-time list.
So
I just think a Hall of Famer deserves. You can't if you're going with the Hall of Fame versus not. He's in the Hall of Fame and Santana's not.
yeah, you see, but the thing for me with that is, again, when I think of not just really, really good players or pitchers or whatever, but when I think of domination, I think of Johan Santana with the Twins. Like, as a fan of teams in the AFC or the American League Central, like that's what he was when he was there. So
yeah, yep, he was like Pedro Martinez, just that type of domination when he was in.
Him, Felix Hernandez, they may not have had like the greatest career overall because it may not have been as long as some of these other guys, but when they were at their peak, they were dominant, 100%. So now we're going to go to one. I know this is going to hurt you a little bit, Joe, but this is the one that I had to do research on the Cleveland Indians / Guardians because obviously having grown up as a fan, let's go to Rebels Roost again. What the hell? Having grown up as a fan, there's a lot of guys that I had on my list and put it together. So I'm going to give you 2 names that did not make my 1990 to 2024 list because I literally had to put these guys in and compare their stats to other guys. At one time, I think it was 4 windows open because there was one guy on my list that was an automatic pick, which we've talked about before. You already know who he is. And then there were the other 3 I had very, very good comparable people to put them against. And literally it came down to what my feeling was and like their head-to-head stats between each of the guys, right? So some of the guys that did not make my list. Cliff Lee did not make my list.
Oh man, and that's one like I get why you were frustrated about that because that dude was insane.
He was really good in Cleveland. And then one of my favorite players for the Indians during any of that time So it
Jake
was
Westbrook.
really hard to leave him off. Is Pronk. Travis Hafner.
Oh, Hafner. Yeah. I completely forgot about him until you just mentioned his name.
Right? And so, again, it was great player for the Indians. I absolutely loved him as a fan, but I could not keep him on the list with the other names that you can have on the list from that time frame. But when I tell you that I literally had that baseball reference page where it has, you can compare specific stats, and I was flipping back and forth and saying, all right, when did, Cliff Lee pitch for the Tribe, right? To make sure, like, I was just taking his Indians years into account and whatever. I'm being 100% serious about that. So.
Oh, he deserves consideration for sure.
Oh, yeah. But with that being said, do you want to go first, or do you want my present day list for the Indians?
Since you are the Indians fan, and I'm not going to say Guardians.
Come here.
Unless you're talking about a Guardian.
Come here.
Where are you?
I'm out front where you just were. All right.
I'll go first so that you can react.
Yep, go ahead.
So I'm going to say this right now because you just brought it up with Cliff Lee.
Yep.
I'm really shocked I don't have Cliff Lee or Corey Kluber on either of these lists. Corey Kluber should be on this list, and I omitted him, and now I feel like an idiot. Number one on my list is the duo of Omar Vizquel and Roberto Alomar. If they played longer than 3 years together, I mean, they would have probably be deemed the best double play combo in the history of the game. 3 straight Golden Gloves for both of them. So 6 total in their 3-year span. They both came in with 6 already.
He's 100% right, chat.
I can't ever think from that point on of a duo that flashed the way they did without any chemistry going into the first season.
Yep.
And
I got people right here. They hired the bot. They got the snipers.
.105. I'm getting wrecked. Knocked them in my house, baby. I'm a wreck. Coming up on me.
Yep, he just went around the rock from you.
Knocked. One's knocked.
The other one's coming up behind.
Oh, I got him close. Yes. Where's your bot now, bitches? Manny Ramirez, number 2 on my list. 804 RBIs in 1,967 games. 313 average, 236 homers, and 1,000 hits. Of those 1,000 hits, 45% were extra base hits. Jose,
hold on real quick. Just thanks for the follow on Twitch. Juzzer Mugs. I hope I said that right. Welcome in. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Dude, they had all kinds of purples and stuff, and we beat them.
Yeah. I thought I saw a med kit. Okay, you're using it. Then I've got 1 splash left.
Do you have a sniper?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so you got
Man Ram.
Man Ram, yeah.
I got Man Ram, and then Jose Ramirez. 44% of his hits with them so far have been extra base hits. And then 4th, I couldn't decide, so I put a split CC Sabathia and Francisco Lindor. Lindor had a almost darn near 350 on base percentage with the Indians, and CC Sabathia had darn near as many strikeouts as innings pitched when he was with the Indians.
So I'll tell you now. Well, first of all, Renegade in the chat said Alomar, Tomey, Bell, and Russell Branyan. And then he came back and said,
Ooh,
LOL,
Russell
Manny's my fourth.
Russell Branyan, now it's a name.
So I will tell you, it was really difficult not to put CC Sabathia on my list. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely loved CC. I still love CC. Even though he became a Yankee, I love CC Sabathia. It was really, really difficult for me, having grown up an Indians fan, and not have him on that list. Just, I will put that out there now. That being said, I think the best pitcher that you have to go with during that time frame is going to be Corey Kluber. There's a big pot for you. Just statistically speaking, what he meant to a team that was down and out, I can't put enough past Corey Kluber. And then there's Flowberry for you too. Omar is an obvious choice. Omar Vizquel. I've said it all along. One of the best defensive shortstops, if not the best defensive shortstop to played in the American League, if not all of the big leagues. Absolutely, it's inside, by the way. Absolutely love him as a player. Just because he was the first guy to really set it off for me as an Indians fan. And I very, very much so remember going to my first Indians game at the Jake and taking my Joey Bell baseball card with me to try to get it signed. Of course, it's Albert Bell, right? And then the one that I don't think you had him on your list, but he may be on your all-time list, Hall of Famer during this time frame, obviously, is Jim Thome.
Yep.
Right? And when you go and you look at it, right? Albert Bell, out of all of those guys, who the hell just shot at me? Oh, they're behind me. God damn it.
There's a dude. Yep, they're by the...
I just got snuck up on and
116.
smoked.
Oh,
They're going to finish me.
116.
So Albert Bell, this is just looking at their time in Cleveland, right? So Albert Bell had a 27.4 WAR in 851 games. He only had 965 hits, but he had 235 home runs, 714 RBIs. He hit 299. Excuse me. Had a 376 on base percentage, 592 slug, and a 968 OPS. He had 4 All-Star game appearances with the Indians. He had 4 Silver Sluggers. And he was the first guy. Oh, you're getting smoked. You didn't even pick up the wings you were just talking about.
I tried to. No, I dropped
rotate.
I was listening about Albert Bell.
The last one, I've mentioned it on the show before, but Albert Bell was the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit 50 home runs and have 50 doubles in the same season. Right?
Which is super impressive.
Super impressive. Jim Thome, his time only in Cleveland. 52.1 WAR in 1,536 games. 1,486 hits. 381 home runs. 1,058 RBIs, a 285 batting average, 411 on base percentage, 568 slugging, 979 OPS. He was a 3-time All-Star, and he also won a Silver Slugger for the Indians. When you
one?
he only had one with the Indians. Yeah.
Wow. When you read those numbers, that's like majestic Babe Ruth numbers, by the way.
Right. Omar Vizquel, now he only had a 30.2 WAR. He had in 1,473 games, or 78 games, he had 1,616 hits. He did hit 60 home runs. 584 RBIs, which is a testament to how stacked those offenses were when he was in Cleveland. 279 stolen bases, 283 batting average, 3 All-Star games, but 8 Gold Gloves while he was in India. And Vizquel was one of those guys. He was going on my list, but it was real hard not to include somebody like Kenny Lofton in a spot like that, right? You can pick where we go this while I read this last one. Corey Kluber in Cleveland, 32.5 WAR, started 203 games, pitched 1,341.2 innings, 98 and 23 record. You're not picking anywhere, so let's go to Classy. He had 1,461 strikeouts, so he had a 27.1 strikeout percentage. He only walked 292 batters. He made 3 All-Star teams. He won 2 Cy Youngs, and he won an ERA title. Renegade is annoyed there's no Ben Francisco love here. Actually, if you're still in the air, let's go to the vault first, and then we can work into
Francisco Lindor?
No, Ben Francisco.
Oh, Brand Francisco.
So, again, like Corey Kluber, the Cliff Lee, CC, like that's. So I tried to pick, like, you know, who were your best hitters, who was your best defender, who was your best pitcher during this time frame, and it really came down to it. It was basically a draw for me. Because
shows you how good the Indians pitching has been since the 90s.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. That shows you how good they were during some of these time frames as opposed to some of the other teams that we've already covered. Like, were they great? By no means. But were they really good teams a couple of times there? Absolutely.
Even the mediocre teams have good pitching. Trevor Bauer, Clevenger, Denny Martinez, Dwight Gooden,
Jack McDowell was there.
Charles Nagy,
Oral Hershiser.
Oh, I forgot about Hirsch. Where are these guys at?
They're inside.
Oh.
They were trying to get to me because I landed on the roof, so they were inside trying to break shit. Yeah, Renegade mentioned Bauer in the chat as well. So I mean,
some of the guys they have now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not even an Indians fan anymore, so it's not like I have followed them for the last 15 years. You know.
As a fan of a team in their division, it's just, you know, you're gonna have to score some runs, and you're not gonna be able to. Especially in that stretch when Kluber was there and Cliff Lee. And, oh my gosh.
So in the chat, Renegade says nobody is. They're Guardians fans. I know. He's just trying to be a smart ass.
I can't do that. I can't. Well, I can if I'm talking about the current team.
Yeah.
But
to talk about the teams that I grew up watching, no.
So I gotta ask, all those 90s years.
Yep.
All those 90s years, not getting that World Series championship, how did that make you feel as a fan?
Dude, that was just call them the Trivians. Dude, that was heartbreaking on so many levels. Dude, like, that was the first time as a fan of anybody that, you know, of any team, that I truly had my fandom heartbroken. And yes, I agree with you, Renegade. 94, that year, it should have been the Indians versus the Reds in the World Series if it wasn't for the strike. There's barrels in there you can break, Joe. So now I could sit here literally and name great Indians from 1990 on for the rest of the show. But I want to get over to the all-time Indians list and get your philosophy or your thoughts on that. Keeping in mind that having grown up as an Indians fan, this is like it was for you on the Tigers, as far as, you know, like finding these old time guys and knowing about them, because I did grow up a fan of the team and whatever. So
I'll start off by saying Nap Lajoie. Is that how you say it? Nap
LaJoie.
LaJoie.
Nap LaJoie.
Nap LaJoie is not on my list.
Really? Okay.
No. Not because I just didn't have room for him, and I don't feel comfortable putting somebody that I don't know for sure is amazing. I have Bob Feller #1.
Okay.
I think when you think of the Indians, you think of Bob Feller.
Yep.
You think of the dude that they say if he didn't go to war would have had like 5 no-hitters. I was reading a story today that he used to hand out stat sheets after his career was over when he's signing autographs that said, I should have won, or I should have had 4,000 strikeouts, 400 games won, and I think he said 5 no-hitters based off of calculations.
Yeah.
So he used to hand that out, and I think that's true. A lot of people talk about his fastball and just how great it was back then. So I have him #1. #2, I have Jim Thome.
Okay.
Personally, there's never been a player that I've wanted to hate so much but couldn't. Against the Detroit Tigers, he had 221 games, a 295 average. 65 of his 612 home runs came against the Tigers. That's more than 10%. No other player has ever done that against one team. 154 RBIs against one team in 221 games, and a 435 on base percentage. So that's probably against the Tigers in his 220 games. And he hit number 600 against Detroit.
Yeah.
So, like, I've had a lot of pain watching that guy, but I couldn't be mad because who doesn't like Jim Thome? If you don't like Jim Thome, I don't think I can associate with you. He's such a good guy.
He just seems like he's such a good dude, right? Like,
yeah.
Just the kind of the happy-go-lucky, and, you know, here's an good old boy that was just like, you know, an old farm boy or something, you know, like just the natural muscle, and doing it during the steroids era, and never once having his name attached and tainted by any of that stuff. No, absolutely. Jim Thome is one of my favorite ball players of all time. Absolutely.
When you think of, like, the thing when I think of him, and this is just the games I watched against Detroit mainly, and I watched him a lot in Philadelphia too, but but he played for the Twins, the White Sox, and a majority with the Indians, 13 teams. So all those teams are against Detroit. But when I think of him, I think of the opposite side monster shots that still haven't landed yet.
Yep.
Those ones, and I think of I found an interesting article today where Charlie Manuel was his manager in AAA and AA.
Okay.
And ended up being his manager, of course, with the Phillies. But Charlie Manuel was teammates with Harmon Killebrew. Hold on just a second. Thank you for finishing that.
Gotcha.
So Manuel would always tell him in games when he hit those moon shots, because he would pull it too. He didn't just hit it opposite way. I mean, You look at his home run chart; it's all over the place.
Oh yeah.
But Manuel would say anytime he hit a shot, just the way his always sailed high and just kept sailing.
Yep.
He'd say, "Man, do I have Harmon Killebrew on my team?" So there's if you look at stats too, because I wanted to look at stats and compare the two, he's very much Harmon Killebrew of this generation. When you look at the numbers, and just based off of what has been said by Manuel, it's
we got a
cool
car coming. We got a car coming.
They just flew through there. We'll visit.
You just shot
I
my bot.
I did.
You shot my bot off to the side.
My bad.
No, you're good. Oh, you jackass.
I've seen the beginning of Oh. Tommy's one of those guys that I worry about in 50 years people won't remember like a Killabrew.
Yeah. Terrible stuff.
I mean, Killabrew's remembered, but he's not celebrated like he should be.
He's not considered. He's considered one of the all-time greats, but he's never in that talk for who was the greatest ever. So yeah, he gets kind of overlooked and bypassed.
Even when we were kids, going up until when he retired, he was always overlooked as one of the top players. Everybody overlooked him for the Griffies, which rightfully so, but he never got the same echelon as those guys when he should have.
Yep. Yeah,
at least as a hitter.
The day that it came out that he was signing in Philadelphia was another one of those days that, as a Indians fan growing up, it was just absolute heartbreak. Because as I said, I absolutely love Jim Thome as a ball player, and wanted nothing more than to be able to watch him for the rest of his career.
He's one of those players too that gets the late recognition. Like, I don't think people recognize what he was doing as greatness until he's with the Twins and with the Orioles and at the end of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, they said he was a good player, right? And obviously a leader of his team, but I don't think they realized what they were witnessing until all of a sudden he hit 600 home runs.
But yeah, you weren't going to sit around and picture him as being a... Like, everybody knew he was a home run hitter, but you didn't sit around and picture him having those kind of numbers.
Nope.
So, all right, give me your list again. You had Bob Feller, Jim Thome.
So I've only got through... Oh, I did have Nap LaJoy on my list. I lied.
Okay. I'll forgive you.
I end up putting him back on my list probably because he's just one of the all-time greats based off numbers. Now, I don't know Cleveland baseball that well, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
The other guy I have is just a favorite player of mine that I don't know. I think he belongs on this list just based off of what he did for baseball, and the Indians gave him that chance to do it. Satchel Paige.
Satchel Paige?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. I would have expected like a Larry Doby or something there.
Larry Doby could be on there, but he also played for the Tigers.
Yeah.
How can I have a Tigers and Indians guy on there?
Well, I mean, you could, because, like, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, I had Victor Martinez on my Tigers list, or had talked about him at least, so.
Yes.
All right, so I'll tell you, you got a couple of the names I had for the Indians, right? First and foremost, Bob Feller, best pitcher in Indians history. We had a shot behind us. Did you shoot?
I shot. There's somebody up here.
Okay.
They just rifted to the island.
Okay. Bob Feller played for the Indians from 36 to 56. Also, as you mentioned, had 3 years where he was out because he was in World War II. He had a 63.5 WAR, 266 and 162 career record, 3.25 ERA in 484 starts. He also recorded 22 saves. He had 2,581 strikeouts, a 1.31 WHIP, he won the pitching Triple Crown. He was a member of 8 All-Star teams, and of course, he is a Hall of Famer. Right? So Bob Feller, he's when you think of all-time Indians, you think of Bob Feller. We need to go this way because
what you know what just stuck out to me?
What's that?
Because I didn't look at his numbers beforehand. A 1.31 WHIP in the era that he played, that's insane.
Yep.
Because everybody put the ball in play.
Yep. Yeah, he was an all-time great. And like you said, and whatever, there's people in the air. They jumped over us. They're going
just did
towards
the treasure
Lavish.
chest.
They're right over this way. But yeah, when you think of all-time great Indians, that list is going to start with Bob Feller. Anybody that's been a fan for a while. Second on my list, I had Nap LaJoy. So Nap played for the Indians from 1902 to 1914. And now, granted, as we know, like sometimes the stat collection stuff's a little weird and whatever, right? But Nap LaJoy had a 79.6 WAR in 1,615 games for the Indians. He had 2,048 hits. In an era where the ball was dead, he still had 33 home runs. He had 920 RBIs. He had a career .339 batting average for the Indians. And a .452 slugging percentage. He won 2 batting titles, and of course, he's in the Hall of Fame. And like I said, you know this as well as anybody. This is a time frame when, you know, you didn't have the massive home run hitters like you do after the Babe Ruth era, right?
Yeah.
The third guy on my list. Oh, by the way, Nap LaJoy did all that while playing both first and second base and playing shortstop. So he played 3 positions. Third on my list, center fielder Tris Speaker. Again, one of those guys that when I think all-time great Indians, Tris Speaker's there. Tris Speaker had a 74.9 WAR with the Tribe. Here, do you want? Oh no, I don't want to get that up. Never mind. We got a medallion nearby, bub. Let's see. Tris Speaker, 74.9 WAR, 1,965 hits. He played a little bit later than Nap LaJoy, so he
Footsteps.
Oh, I thought you had the other one. He's right there. Ah.
What just happened?
I have no idea. I knocked one, and then the other one got you.
Why was there 3 players?
They had to have had a bot. Let's do one more, and then we'll call it just... or actually, we can go back to lobby if you want. It is 4:30 my time. You want to ready up?
I already readied up.
Okay.
If you want to go back to lobby, that's
no,
fine too.
we'll do this one. So, like I said, Tris Speaker played in a little bit more of a live ball era. He did have 73 home runs, only 886 RBIs, a career .354 batting average, a .520 slugging percentage, and a .965 OPS. He had 1 batting title. He was on a 1 championship team, and of course, he made the Hall of Fame. So then, my last guy, as I have said already, and you probably figured it out, the only carryover, my last guy on the all-time list is Jim Thome.
Yep.
So, yeah, that one was, for me, that was the fun one, like when you did the Tribe one, or the Tigers one, I'm sure.
Right. Yep.
Mr. B, stop shooting people.
So, special mention all-time team for me: Jake Taylor, Wild Thing Rick Vaughn, Pedro Serrano.
So, you know, it's funny you say that because the dog that you heard crying earlier, his name is Jacob. He was named after Jacob's Field because I refuse to call it by the whatever it's called now. But
and Willie Mays Hayes. Let's not forget him.
Can't forget Willie Mays Hayes. You could even throw a little love to Roger Dorn, right?
No,
No,
we won't.
What
We
about
can.
what about
What was that old dude pitcher's name? I can't remember.
Eddie Harris?
Eddie Harris.
I wanted to say Ed Harris, but I think that's like an actual actor's name. That's why I had to think about it. But so, anyways, Jake, named after the Jake. As people with dogs will do, I evolved his name from Jake to, you start calling him Jacob as well, right? his name now is Jacob Taylor. Jake Taylor, 100%. So, yeah, if you're ever around my house here in the Houston area and you hear somebody yelling out, "Jake Taylor, get your butt in the house," that's me yelling at my dog.
I got the key card.
Good.
Dang, this bro's serious. Holy crap. Good lord.
I just wanted to do that because it seemed like fun. Oh, what do we got here? Take that. Take that.
Also, I want to say while we're talking about it, because I'm a broadcaster guy,
Uh-huh.
Tom Hamilton is the bomb. I love that dude.
You know, this is a discussion obviously for another day, but you and I have had some of these talks before. The amount of how lucky we actually are being fans that grew up in the Midwest and listen to, you know, some of these guys that are all-time great announcers is amazing. Right. Because we legitimately were spoiled. You know, it didn't matter, you know, like you and I, like I said, we've talked about this before, but it didn't matter who you were a fan of. You know, if you grew up in the Midwest, in anything up through the start of this whole conversation, you had some of the best announcers for baseball that you could have. Not you also had some for football and stuff too, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, I still go back to, I know he's not old time because he's only been there since they came back, but even Jim Donovan in Cleveland. I love listening to Jim Donovan call games. I love listening to Paul Keels call games for the Buckeyes.
Yep.
You know, you had what was his name? Ernie
Harwell. Yeah.
Harwell, right? And then of course we had, you know, if you go out a little bit further, you had Buck in St. Louis. You had Harry Carey in Chicago. Like, there
in Cincinnati.
I was just getting ready to say that. I grew up with him and Nuxie, right? Like, I can tell you right now, I don't know if Brandon, if you're still watching, but dude, I'm going to tell you right now, listening to 700 WLW and listening to Reds games, that's the reason I know so much about the Reds, and I'm not a Reds fan. But I just love to listen to those guys call games and talk baseball and whatever. So
I just hope that I could either get ESPN 1000, WLW, or the Milwaukee station WJN.
You can hire that bot out front, by the way, too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Switch that. I'm gonna buy that first, and then I'm gonna hire. Wait, why'd she drop me a freaking? Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
But yeah, no, we were absolutely certainly blessed with some of the games that we got to listen to, the guys that we got to hear call games. So
right,
I genuinely feel bad for people that weren't in that time frame. If you enjoy the game of baseball, or football, but baseball for sure.
Bob Uecker with Milwaukee, Vin Scully.
Oh yeah, I mean, we hadn't even touched on some of those guys. Yeah,
on and on.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds funny to say this, but there's not the names like that in broadcasting anymore, especially in radio broadcasting,
No,
which
not really.
I would attribute to some of the reason that you have a decline in the number of people watching and being fans of baseball.
Hmm.
Because when you hear people talk like, they're, oh, baseball's boring, baseball, whatever. Dude, you and I are the same way because we've talked about this, so I know this to be a fact, but you're not going to be able to get down from up here. I'm going off the edge because I got wings.
Well, I'm just gonna jump like I have in my I have a history of jumping.
That's all right. There's somebody right there.
Where? Can't see anything here.
Knock. Oh, his teammate's shooting at me now. Where's his teammate? But yeah, like the stuff that you got to listen to with those guys calling games contributed to the fact that we can sit around and watch a game between teams that I don't honestly give a damn about.
Yeah.
Like I've said this before, but hell, I can sit there and have the Athletics and the Devil Rays on in the background, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of listening to that game if I have nothing else going on. Not because I give a shit about either of those teams, but because, hey, it's baseball. Is that you in a car?
Yep.
Okay.
I still to this day, probably because as a kid, I fell asleep listening to baseball games every night. That's how sometimes I enjoy taking in games still to this day.
Oh, I absolutely love listening to a good broadcaster. And I know there are some that are out there still that are good. I'm not taking it away from the guys that are good. I know, like, you and I were talking about it before. So, what's the guy for the Dodgers? Charlie Steiner, right?
Charlie Steiner, yeah.
Right? So you have guys like that.
Footsteps.
That was I just hired the spot, yeah. And so, but, you're a guy like Charlie Steiner is way fewer than, some of these other guys that are out there.
Yeah, but a lot of it is just they haven't been around for 25 years.
Yep.
A lot of we're in a flux where the broadcasting is changing.
Let's go to that vault that's opening.
You've got guys like John Miller who are still around with the Giants on radio. There's very few, though, that have been around for a long time. Bob Uecker's still doing it for the Brewers. It's a lot of turnover right now.
Well, and that's one of the things I know we had talked about when we brought it up was I like John Miller. I was lucky enough when, because I used to live out in the Northern California area, right? So I was lucky enough to be exposed to Giants and Athletics broadcast and stuff. And it's why I have a whole different take on the Athletics moving, and when people are complaining about it, it's like, y'all, nobody supports the Athletics.
What you got for an AR?
Just the blue one right now.
Okay. Take the purple one and I'll take the blue one.
No, I'm going to take... Oh, there's a gold DMR if you want that.
I'll take that. I already have a purple one if you want to take it.
I got a purple one here.
Okay. Take that then. Actually, I feel like these Thunderbolts are everywhere right now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take the AR.
You're good. Alright, I'm out of the vault. I'm just reloading my drum mags.
Okay, I'm just gonna switch to the scope.
We had a bounty? I don't have a sniper though, Joe, so...
Here.
No, it's alright. Keep your sniper. Keep your sniper.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see one down in there. Was there one down there?
No, I've had one. I got this gold DMR and I can use that. You can take my sniper.
I could do that. If you've got something to shoot with some range on it.
Yeah, I've got the DMR with the thermal scope on it.
Do you have sniper ammo?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll take this. Perfect. I'm gonna go down here and put a scope on this though.
All right, now I'm back out of there. Snipered up. Think we're ready. Let's try to end today's show on a dub. What do you say?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I say that as I'm getting ready to take a drink, so I'm going to get sniped right now. I've also got 6 splashes already. I don't know what you have.
I have pots, but I'm just gonna trade for splashes because they're better.
Oh yeah, there's more of them right there.
And this dude keeps dropping them like they're freaking hot potatoes.
Yep, that's the whole reason I told you to hire that bot, because I know he does that. All right, where do we got to... I hate how it does that shit. We got to get to... You know what? Let's go this way. Instead of going towards Reckless, where there's probably going to be people, let's just prep for the outskirts of the storm. We'll do all those things that Zimma's hates. We'll just try camping and whatever. Which, by the way, as I'm thinking about that, if you guys are watching, make sure you're hitting the follow button here on my Twitch account. Joe is Knock Please Revive. You can find his information over there if you look on Twitch. He's also on TikTok until the government bans it from us at Knock Please Revive. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, and TikTok. Meals25 on all platforms. So make sure you're checking everything out there. We do have a special video that will be coming up soon with Renegade and his dancing prowess from our chat that you guys are going to love. I know, Joe, you've seen one of those clips already. So yeah, just putting that out there. I'm coming in this building. There's 2 more.
All right, I'll pick them up.
Are you full on ammo, by the way?
I'm good except for shotgun.
How much shotgun you got?
Only 27.
So hold your shotgun out. Get in the building, first of all. But then stand there and hold your shotgun out, because your person will drop you shotgun ammo if that's the gun you have out.
Why won't she come in the building?
You have to tell her to. So if you hit the left directional button... No, that's not it. Go get that shotgun ammo she just dropped. But if you hit your left directional button, it will, you can make them move. So you should see like a yellow arrow pop up.
Some blue.
Zimas51 says, only got 425. Sorry, can't give you any. Here you go. So, what's up, Rob? Good to see you, man. It's we had our discussion on the AL Central earlier today. We are going to, this is our last game. We're going to get out of here, but if you're going to be around later, I'll definitely be back on after dinner and everything. All right, let's move that way. We are running through 4 medallions right now. And hey, the good news is 42 followers on Twitch right now. We're almost to 50.
Woo!
So
let's go.
we get to 50, we'll become a Twitch affiliate, which is what we're trying to get to. All right, where was this shooting at?
Up on this mountain, up by the forecast.
So they're shooting over here.
Killed one minion. Some of the shooting is minions, I think.
All right, I'm pushing down towards you.
Oh, there they are up top forecast. They're just past this forecast. Oh, they're flying in. They're up on the top of the mountain across from us.
Where?
Damn it. I can't mark.
Oh, I got
It won't let me for
footsteps.
some reason. They're white. I hit them with a shot too. That was perfect. Oh, they're coming. Right in front. Is this the point where I admit I threw a splash?
Nope, all good.
You got.
There's somebody coming.
Oh,
We got one team left.
let's see if I can draw them out.
Just make sure you get
I'll
everything reloaded, Joe.
Not hop in the car. Mike, I'm about to do this with 0 kills.
That's all good.
Okay, you are about to do this.
Push back towards the weather tower.
Okay. Might as well grab this key.
Yeah, if you got space for it.
I dropped my chugs, but I'll go back down and get them. Oh, any of these wings 300? Oh,
Ooh. Where did that shot come from?
I can't find it.
Oh, they're on that mountain. Get back,
Okay.
get back, get back.
I'm coming for 'em.
We got to get to the red mark.
That's
So-
where they are. They're sniping from.
No. The pink mark.
Oh,
So if you just slide down that hill, they can't move on you. $250?
250, eh?
No, 250 is how far away they are. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to draw them away because I've got the medallions. I can get away quicker. Come on.
It looks like they're just trying to come towards you.
Where are you boys? Come on. We want to end today's stream with a win.
I don't know where they went.
I love that this thing drops building materials. We need to get over here.
They're across from us, Mike.
Where?
where I'm going.
One's knocked.
I got one for 60.
Got him.
Yes.
Hey, hey!
That's how you end it. That's how you end it. We roll like this.
Did you end up with a pacifist, Joe? You did! You ended up with a pacifist! Nicely done, Joseph.
I thought I was going to get it there. I just didn't. I couldn't reload fast enough, and then you shot him.
Perfect.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That is perfect. I love ending a good stream. This may have been our best day on stream since we started streaming as far as how many games we won and stuff. You realize that?
Yep. Yeah, we had two crown wins this game.
Yeah.
No, 3, right? No, we picked up a crown.
I think it was 2 crown wins, but we had like 3 wins or something. So, no, absolutely. Easily the best that we've done as far as that goes.
Damage taken 353. As high as that is, that might be my lowest ever.
All right, Joe. So with all of that, any final thoughts that you want to bring up in regards to the AL Central non-Detroit Tigers team for their Mount Rushmores, or anything else we talked about or anything today?
No, I don't think so. Minus the fact that I'm just gonna say this. I know we're not a political program.
Oh, Jesus.
Just go out and vote. 24% of registered voters in my state voted, and it has an impact. Go vote. Go register to vote and go vote.
You know, I will tell you. I know. Obviously, we have a large percentage of the people that are a part of this program that live in Australia. And I know that there are things that are good and bad about Australia, obviously. There are things good and bad about everywhere, right? As somebody who was a social sciences major in college, the one thing that I think more than anything else that Australia definitely does better than the States is they have Saturday elections and they require everyone to vote. Like, it's a requirement. And Rob, I don't know if you're still in here. You can chime in if you want to, but it's like you get fined or some shit if you don't go vote. And I think that's something that it's your civic duty. And like, there's people that get all bent out of shape. Oh, I don't want to register because I don't want to do jury duty. Yeah, jury duty sucks. But, you know, I'm 42 years old. I've been called for jury duty once in my entire lifetime, and I've been a registered voter since I was 18 years old.
He's 42 years old, and he's an American.
Yeah.
Vote.
So, no, that is the one political statement I would completely agree with you on, Joe. So
yes, and I know that it's not looking like sunshines and rainbows on your ballot, but wait, that could be taken the wrong way. I'm not going to get political. I didn't mean it.
Go back to Buc-ee's. Revert back to Buc-ee's. Turn in and fill up the trailer.
Back to Buc-ee's.
So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you being here. I really, really do have a whole lot of fun when we're on here playing. I can't wait. As I mentioned, I'm at 42. Once we get to 50 followers and we turn the affiliate program on, we're going to start kicking up some weekend follower games and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to being able to doing that. We'll also, we're getting closer to MLB The Show coming out. We're going to play some racing at some point. We're with the Formula One game. Obviously, college football comes out, so we're going to have a lot more stuff coming up. So I'm really looking forward to all of those things coming around. If you're watching on Twitch, again, right over here, just above the Ohio sign that you can see over my left shoulder, you should see the dynamic follow button. Click in there. You'll see the link to go follow Knocked Please Revive. Go give Joe some love. You'll see the links to also follow Rob and Cam, a couple other guys that are big parts of the program that'll be, especially on the weekends, they'll be helping out. I know Rob's filled in great while Joe was on vacation. Go give those guys some love. Joe, what is your your TikTok account name again? Is it PLS Revive or is it the full word, please revive?
It's at Knocked Please Revive, the full word.
Okay. So go give him some love. Again, you can find all of my socials. It's M Meals 25 at everything. So MMEALS 25. It's on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find all of my stuff there. Keep up with the program if you have anything that you want to bring up or ask questions or anything. Appreciate you guys being here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we do trivia on Trivia Thursday again. It's always my personal favorite night of the week. Joe, thanks a lot. Everybody else, peace out.
Peace. You are the Thunderbolt of Zeus.
And no mention of Ben's OnlyFans.